Welcome to the CA Workload Automation iDash Release 12.0.03 Overview video. With Release 12.0.03 of CA Workload Automation iDash, we have introduced enhancements for the reporting and workload automation service level monitoring features. First, we have updated the SLA trend report to include the time zone selected during SLA creation. We have also improved the CA Workload Automation AE job status report and job run report to include more information about your jobs. Next, we have added support for acknowledging and closing alerts to the web UI. We are introducing a time-based filter to the dashboard and Explorer monitoring views. And lastly, we have improved the SLA status display on the dashboard. In this video, we'll discuss these changes, look at a few example reports, and see brief demonstrations of the alert and time-based filtering features. For the SLA trend report, we have included a new column. This new column will contain the time zone from the SLA's definition and the difference between that and the time zone in the report's definition. In this example report definition, we can see that the report is defined for the UTC time zone, so the time difference for each SLA will be relative to UTC. The SLA time zone column functions in the same way as any other column in an iDash report. It may be excluded, moved to a different position, or used as a sort criteria. In this example, we have downloaded the report from the previous example. The SLA at the top of the report is defined on the America, New York time zone, which is 5 hours behind the UTC time zone from the report definition. We have added more job definition information to both the AutoSys job status report and AutoSys job run report. Each of these reports now includes columns for the run calendar, the exclude calendar, the min run alarm, and the max run alarm. As with the SLA trend report change, these new columns function in the same way as other columns in iDash reports. They may be excluded, moved into different positions, or used as sort criteria. In this example, we have an AutoSys job run report. The new columns are filled in with the appropriate data from the jobs definition in CA Workload Automation AE. With Release 12.0.03, we are moving a function from the legacy iDash UI to the web UI. Users will now be able to acknowledge and close alerts from the web UI. From the current alerts list on the dashboard, users may acknowledge or close alerts one at a time. From the Explorer alert list, users can select alerts to acknowledge or close singly or in groups. Users will be limited to acknowledging or closing only alerts their security authorizations allow. Users will have the opportunity to enter activity notes when acknowledging or closing an alert. This note is limited to 255 characters. Users may acknowledge or close an alert multiple times and may move the alert between the acknowledged and closed states by doing so. An alert may not be returned to the open state once it has been acknowledged or closed. New notes for CA Workload Automation AE related alerts will be appended to the previous notes when acknowledging or closing the alert more than once. New notes for CA Workload Automation CA7 edition related alert will overwrite the previous notes. Now let's take a look at a short demonstration. As we can see, I'm now looking at the iDash dashboard. There are several recent alerts displayed in the current alerts list. The missed alert for the Accounts MX on-demand SLA needs to be investigating. I'll click the plus sign to open the alert details. I'll make a note that I'm investigating and acknowledge the alert. Once acknowledged or closed, the alert disappears from the current alerts list. I've now completed my investigation and discovered that a planned outage is responsible not only for this SLA status, but for several other alerts on related SLAs. I'll go to the alerts list to close all of the affected alerts at the same time. I'll select the alerts I wish to close using the checkboxes. Now I'll click the Close button, and I'll enter my notes in the space provided. The Close button now displays the count of alerts that will be affected by this action. I click the button, and the alerts are now closed. For release 12.0.03, we are also introducing a new way to filter the information in the dashboard and Explorer based on a specified time frame. This can help users to more easily focus their attentions on a particular subset of SLAs to monitor. Users will be able to specify a time filter, and this will apply only to the individual user's session. The filter setting is stored within the user's session information on their local machine, and will not move with them if they switch to a new machine. Because the filter is locally stored, clearing the local web browser memory will also clear the filter setting. Users will see their current time filter in the top right corner of the Web UI dashboard and Explorer SLA list pages. Clicking the time filter display in the upper right corner will open a dialog that allows the user to adjust their filter. Changes apply to both the dashboard and the Explorer SLA list pages, and the change may be made on either page. The filter will default to displaying the 12 hours before and after the current time. Let's watch a short demonstration of the time filter in action. I'll start by looking at the time filter display in the upper right corner of the dashboard. This will tell me the beginning and ending times for the currently displayed information. It will also display the last refresh time for the page. Now I'll click the time filter to make some changes. The default value will show you 12 hours in the past and 12 hours in the future. I can enter up to 24 hours in the future. I'll make that change now. I enter 24 in the future hours field, then click Save. The page will immediately refresh to display all of the SLA statuses in the next 24 hours. My forecast window is only set for 16 hours though, so I won't have forecast for all of these SLAs. For now, I'd like to focus my attentions on only the next 4 hours. I'll make that change by entering 4 in future hours and clicking Save. If I select a tag, I'll now be taken to the SLA list view for the tag, also filtered to the same time. Now that I know what's forecast for the near future, I think I'll need to look at the larger picture. I'll click the time filter again, and this time I'll select time interval. This setting will allow me to enter a more definite range to include. I think I'd like to widen the view as much as possible, so I'll select yesterday from midnight to tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. I'll click Save and the page refreshes. I can see from this view that all of my hourly SLAs are predicted to miss. I know that this SLA tracks a repeating job, so I think that my job may have failed and is no longer repeating. I'll have to go investigate. If you watched the previous demonstrations closely, you may have noticed some differences in the tag tiles displayed in the dashboard watch list. The tiles will now display all of the active SLA statuses for the tag. Previous versions of iDash displayed only the top 2 statuses. Users may click on any of the displayed status counts to see an SLA list filtered by the tag and the selected status. We have also added the future SLA status to the dashboard display. Both the donut chart and the tag tiles will display the count of any SLAs in future status, as long as they fall within the current time filter. Future status indicates that an SLA's deadline is beyond the end of the current forecast window. SLAs in future status will not be forecast until the forecast window advances far enough to include the SLA deadline. In this video, we've introduced the changes for CA Workload Automation iDash release 12.0.03. We've talked about the new information available in some of our reports. We've demonstrated the process of acknowledging or closing alerts from the Web UI, and we've looked at the enhancements made to the SLA monitoring process. For more detailed information about the CA Workload Automation iDash release 12.0.03, click the information bubble in the top right corner to load the product page. From there, you can go to product documentation, visit the CA communities, or see the learning path.